Hey everybody, how you doing? Hey, in the last video it was basically me doing just one way the game could end, but this time I'm going to show you as many as I can how the different endings of this game play out. I'm just going to let the narrator do its thing, and I might chop it up a little bit so I can cram as many in as possible. Here we go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Maybe.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Right.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
What's going on?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Let's try again.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Wait.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Oh, come on.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
True.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
They are.
Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Yeah.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Am I mental?
Though she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Trying again. Losing my brain.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
Man.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story. All of his co-workers were gone.
Again.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
All right. Well.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Me too.
I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Well, what's this?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Oh my God.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
I've been around in circles.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
How did the line become a character?
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
What?
You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
This is it?
And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Don't care. I've had it. Is that it?
Farewell, Stanley,
Who are
cried the
you?
narrator,
Who
as
are you?
Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I'm not dead.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Try again.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
I'm gonna
to
pull the plug
reach
this time.
out to her. If you... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone?
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You
Unplugged
actually
it.
chose incorrectly?
Yep.
I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another.
That's not
Music
what
comes
happens.
in, fade to white, roll credits. Not
lie.
picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
All right.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Okay.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What?
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and
right.
see what the correct thing to do would have been.
Try
This
me.
way, please.
Oh, this is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for
gonna
your
do it, mate.
respect.
Not going
The
through.
kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
You're not on my
Give me a
side.
chance.
Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
You know I'm gonna go blue. You know I am.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. And as the cold reality of his past began
this
to
one.
sink in,
I'm
Stanley
not gonna.
decided
I'm
that
gonna
this
turn it off
machinery
this time.
would never
It's going
again
off.
exert its
Everything's going
terrible
off.
power
I've had enough.
over another.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yes, he had won. He had defeated the machine.
Is that all I had to do back at the
Unshackled
beginning?
from
Turn it
someone
off.
else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
I've done a
Where
few.
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the
How many
machine's
have I not
grasp?
done?
What other mysteries did this strange building hold? Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was
so
exactly
nice.
the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yep.
And Stanley was happy.
Yep.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, broke. It's broke.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The
I need you to
end.
walk through the door.
I've done so
Are you
many.
listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Well guys, that's it. That's as many as I can do without going completely insane. There were a few in there I don't think I'm going to put in the video because they weren't as funny or what have you. They just started again. But my god, my brain has turned to mashed potatoes. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. It means so much to me. And also getting other people to watch the videos as well, which means something else. I have no idea how YouTube really works these days. But thank you so much for watching, and give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want it and all that stuff. And I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.